Eric with SOS Online Backup. Thank you for joining. Today we're going to be going through a walkthrough of Pulse. So we're going to do a Pulse installation, and then we're going to drive Pulse a little bit to show you the basic functionality and how you can create policies and monitor and manage backups. So first, let's start out by going to our main website, sosonlinebackup.com, and we're going to download the Pulse agent. So we come down to our download page, SOS Pulse. I'll go ahead and download this now. Looks like I already had it. So what you want to do next is, before you install Pulse, you want to make sure that there's a backup account that Pulse will recognize. So we're going to go ahead and launch our backup program. Log in. And then we're going to log right back out. So let's go back to Pulse. We'll install this. First thing it's going to ask for is our Pulse key. So everyone will be given a unique Pulse key that you can use. And then next it's going to ask us for credentials to create Pulse, or to privilege Pulse to run as a Microsoft service. So it's going to ask for a local admin account. So here it is. So by a local admin account, we mean if you come to, so we go to My Computer, go to Manage, and then go to Local Users and Groups, Users. So SOS is the user that we're going to be using, so that's a local account. So Pulse currently does not support all domain accounts. It's kind of a hit or miss depending on whether it'll actually install or if it will work thereafter the install. So this machine name is Demo2. You can go through the profiles, but it's under the administrators, so we can verify it that way. But we put machine name, and then the username, and then the Windows password. And this should allow us to complete the installation. Okay, great. So we say close. So now we need to kick off the service. So open up Windows, just type in services.msc. We have services here. Here we can search for Pulse Management Console, or Pulse Management Service rather. And we're going to right click and just say Start. And now Pulse is going to run. So one way we can check to see if it's verified properly or not is to go to our admin URL. So here's the main dashboard for our Pulse server. So one thing I can do is just go to View Backup Accounts and see that the new account has been registered. So Pulse Demo 11, so that was the one we just created it under. Verify the information here. Looks good. Date client register with Pulse. Looks great. If we go to Machines, We see that it also pulled machine details. So here's the machine demo 2 that was installed on. Gives us the installation date. Deployments is a combination of the backup account name and the machine name. So we can arrange this by date registered with Pulse. So we have Pulse Demo 1.1, and Demo 2 is the most recent registration. We can also see that some of these have backup policies applied and some do not. A backup policy, if we select this here, will define one, what you're using it for, who you're using it for, as well as the backup set and the schedule. So this one has this backup set with sample folder selected and then sample.doc5.png selected. Backup time, 6 p.m. every day. So if we go to backup policies and go to manage policy, see the number of policies we have here. I can go to edit and I can change this policy. So here you put a policy name, so you can name it according to a type of user or a specific business and a type of user, whatever you'd like. Then you can be more descriptive here, naturally, in the description. So this is a way you can group different types of users or departments within a company. The backup set follows this structure where you enter bracket, folders bracket, and then line by line you would add the path for each folder. And then files, bracket files, and then you would enter the line per file. Now, one known issue that we do have with this version of Pulse is that you do need to enter at least one file for the policy to apply. So you can't have only files and no folders, or all folders and no files. You have to have at least one on each side. And then that, of course, will be resolved in the next build. But for now, I just put here sample doc5 PNG. You want to make sure that it's something that's already in your backup set. That way you don't clog up your event logs with Pulse policy that could not apply. And then talking about events, let's go ahead and look at events. So we have a number of events that this can track. You can, and then all these columns can be arranged, can be sorted. So you just click on the time, and it'll bring the most recent. Pulse fires every 10 minutes. So every 10 minutes you'll get a pulse that will show some sort of progress. So here are a list of events that are possible. So software installed, uninstalled, backup ran with errors, backup failed to run, manual backup ran, et cetera, et cetera. So it goes through all these things. So backup policies, created, activated, disabled, a number of policies here. Now if we go to view backup sessions, this gives us more detail as to what happened during a specific backup. So you see here we have date started and finished, or date and time rather, files transferred, error count, and then log. So we can go here and see, okay, well we had 4 files transferred and 4 errors. So we'd want to see the details on that. And it gives us the log, so we'd be able to look through the log and do a evaluation of what happened during this backup. Go back to view backup sessions. And you can sort by these. So most often you'd come in here and you just have it show you the most recent finished. You can change the results per page to up to 20. And that's pretty much the session logs. Create a new policy. Same thing. Make sure it's active so you can deactivate or activate a backup policy as you like. Activation date, all these fields have to be filled out in order to create a new policy, but we already saw the example policy we had before. And we just tried to make this so you can really go back and forth between the different menus. And that's basically it with Pulse. Any questions about Pulse? A few items about verifying that Pulse is correct, that it is installed correctly, is one thing that you may want to do is when you get to a new deployment, you want to apply a policy and then verify that it does actually apply, especially if it's the first machine in a specific network that you're trying. But you want to make sure that that's going to work. So let's go to Pulse Demo 1.1. We hit Edit. And then under this drop-down, we select Demo Policy. So I'll say Update. And now that's applied. So the next time Pulse fires, we should see a policy set for, probably a policy partially applied like this one, run on that deployment. Since we don't see it now, or maybe we're impatient, you can always come back here and hit Restart. And then once this finishes, we can refresh this, and we should see an event that shows us that a backup policy was partially applied. So let's see here. Refresh. Here we go. So here it is, 6.2.8.17, details. And it gives us the details for this particular event. If you want to go into more detail, you can go to View Backup Sessions. But there are no backup sessions for this machine because it's a brand new account on brand new deployment. And we should be able to go to the task scheduler in Windows. And here we see a let's open that up again. Before it closed out, we did see the Acme scheduled task. So here it is at 6 p.m. every day. And here's the username so we can see that. And that's it for Pulse. Anyone have any particular questions? Anyone currently using Pulse? Mike, not yet. Robert, any questions? You were giving Pulse a little bit ago. Nothing. Okay. Well, thank you all for your time today. Let us know if you have any questions about Pulse. We have updated our knowledge base so that we can answer questions about all of our products and our programs. So if you go to SOSOnlinebackup.com, hit the support button, and then go to the knowledge base. There's actually a pretty good Pulse section in here now. So if you go to Pulse, we have see 21 different articles, and this should walk you through everything that we went through today. So thank you for your time, and looking forward to hearing from you.